Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Optimism on the Rocks. I'm Derek.
And I'm Mariah.
So today we were gonna take a look at some of our favorite Halloween treats.
So cute.
So cute and fun. But then we're like, you know what? That's not spooky enough for Halloween coming up. And then we thought, well, what's spookier than a P Diddy party?
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're gonna be taking a look at P Diddy and all of the news or current events surrounding his recent endeavors. And so, I will kind of leave the direction up to you. I have not ruined my entire algorithm with P. Diddy, but one of us has. So,
yes.
someone has bitten the bullet there.
To be fair, Diddy was already in my algorithm.
That's true.
Mostly just TikTok. I keep that stuff there, as we said before. But first, let's talk about the drink.
Mm-hmm.
This is Diddy's Berry Delight.
So I'm getting Special K for sure.
You might not remember tomorrow. Then there'll be some photos of you. I'm just kidding. I think that's what Diddy does. Or Diddy did.
Diddy did it? Did he do it?
So, he did do it.
Yeah, Diddy did
let's
it.
be real.
Let's be real. Diddy did those things.
But who else did do it too?
I mean, that's where the real meat and potatoes is, right there.
Okay, so in the drink, we're doing slow gin this time. So same thing, it's coming from Stumbletown, my favorite place that's local for gin. And you'd ask what slow gin is, and it's just gin made with sloe berries, which is just some European berry. I didn't read that much into it because it wasn't as exciting as the Diddy stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but the slow gin is good.
Yeah.
And it's like a little bit sweeter too. And then I put some lemon juice. And then I had this berry-infused honey as a sweetener. And then I topped with soda and put this random creepy-looking berry in it for like a Halloween kind of thing. You could make this drink for Halloween for some spookiness too. Like you could call it whatever you want, like vampire blood
But what's scarier than a drink being served to you by P. Diddy himself?
Which is very true. Okay, I want to try it first.
It's pretty good. If you're into gin, it's really good.
Are you into gin?
I am into gin.
Okay. I was like, I'm into gin. It actually is really good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. I guess we have to start at the basics for people who don't know anything about Diddy or what's happening. So basically, Diddy has been arrested.
Well, I mean, maybe we should go back even farther,
Okay.
maybe.
You go.
So, Diddy, in case you don't know, very famous music producer, formerly known as Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. I think he called himself Love for a period of time.
Did he really?
That's a real thing. But yeah, basically just a music producer and mogul in general. He did have a rap album himself. It was okay at best. I mean, I can only think of one album.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought he did more music.
Like he featured on a lot of like Notorious B.I.G.'s music, and was his like producer at the time. But yeah, I can only think of like one album that he put out as.
I didn't know that.
Puff Daddy.
But he founded Bad Boy Records.
That is correct.
Okay. I don't remember what that said. I think it was like 93 or something like that.
Yeah.
And who helped him do that?
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But I do know that.
Clive Davis.
Clive Davis. Yeah.
The creepiest old man of ever, probably. I was saying to someone how sometimes when like men get older, you're just like, oh, they're so cute. There's a cute old man. Like, you know, they're really nice and stuff. But there's some men that grow up and they look evil. And you're like, oh, you were a little seedy. There's like something evil in their eyes. He's one of them. If you look him up online, he's super creepy looking.
We're talking about Clive Davis or P. Diddy?
Oh, both.
Okay, perfect.
But Clive Davis is very old now. He's like ancient. He's probably, if he gets pulled into all of this, he won't make it.
He won't make it?
No, I don't. I think he's quite old. But yeah, yeah, so that's the start of the P Diddy scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was recently months ago, I guess, arrested. I don't know when he was actually arrested though.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That part I
so.
missed.
There was that video that went around of him. He was like chasing. It was his wife down the hallway.
Cassie.
Yeah.
No, I think they were just dating.
They were just
Were they
dating?
married?
I don't know.
I don't think so, but he was like super abusive. Right? She brought up the case. That's
Yeah.
what happened. So she started that case, and then I think it was paid out, and then all of this kind of other stuff came on.
Yeah.
But I did hear, because you know he also has Ciroc, right?
Yep.
So apparently there was some lawsuit, and I'll have to fact check this, but realistically, just believe whatever I say.
Yeah, 100% true. Everything that's happening right now.
This is all
Ironclad.
for educational purposes
Ironclad
only.
research.
So he was being sued by Diageo, which owns Ciroc, for something, and I guess they wanted him out of the deal or something like that. And the only way they could break the contract is if he had did something morally wrong. So they're saying that Diageo, which is the liquor company who has a lot of money, could go out and be like, hire all these private detectives and be like, find all the seedy stuff they did. There's a lot of seedy stuff, and now they found it, and now they don't have to have the contract with him.
I mean, that's great. I feel like they probably could have just bought him out at some point, right?
But Ciroc is a pretty big.
I mean, like,
he probably wants it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
he doesn't need the money. I bet. Wants the power.
The power that comes with having a
First
vodka
you get
brand.
The money, then you get the. How does that?
I don't. Yeah, but I don't think that. I don't.
For his parties.
I mean, but
he wants to say that's my vodka. He doesn't care about the money.
Sure.
The vodka that he's, putting the drugs into to spike for people.
Yeah.
How's your drink?
It's delicious.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I mean, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, this all seems like straight facts to me.
It's racketeering.
Is that what racketeering is?
Isn't it? What is racketeering? I thought it was like
I feel like
blackmailing.
No, I thought racketeering is just like running a criminal enterprise.
Oh.
It's
like what a racket.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, Clive Davis helped him back in the old days, which is already a little bit seedy. But there's been 2 people that have recently come out, and one of these came out yesterday. So depending on when we post this video after we're done editing it, I don't know. But her name is, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Tanea, like Tanya. What'd you say?
I mean, could be Tanya.
Yeah. So she went to a P. Diddy party back in 2018, and she was on Soft White Underbelly. And on this episode, she talked about coming to a P. Diddy party, and no one really thought anything of it because it's like, oh, whatever. Like, she was a sugar baby at the time, and she had met this guy who wanted to take her to this party and basically introduce her to some like big record execs. And so she thought she was going to go there and sing. She was really excited about it. She's this young girl at the time, young woman who wanted to have a career. So she didn't drink very much. She went to this party, and she talks about all this weird stuff that actually lines up with a lot of other things that people have said. So she recently came on a new episode, and that's the one that aired yesterday. And she talks about how on these freak-offs, there's an inside party and there's an outside party. And the outside party is like where everyone is, but you have to get invited to the inside party. So Diddy goes around and tells people like, oh, that person can come in. And they give them these like shoes is what she said. And she ended up going home with the shoes. They were these, no, I can't remember the brand, but they're basically slides. Like, I don't know if they're Gucci slides or like some type, you know what a slide is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Little sandals.
Like a sandal,
yeah.
But without the toe thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The thong.
I'm not a fan of thongs.
Great.
I don't like them.
Okay. Or flip-flop.
Flip-flop. We're not British. They're not thongs. They're flip-flops.
Is that a British word?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty funny, though. But so then she puts on these slides and she's allowed to go into the party.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of is like, doesn't really want to go in yet. But then Diddy comes up to her and says, why don't you have the shoes on? Why aren't you in my party? And he's like feeling her up and stuff. And like basically she said he could do whatever he wanted at this party. This is his party. You're at his home, whatever.
You're at Diddy's house. Diddy does what he wants.
Exactly. And she said she was approached by his son, but she wouldn't name which one. But she said maybe it was some mommy issues, like maybe she looked a little like Kim Porter. So you do what you want with that information. So she goes into this party by herself, and she said she looks over and like people are doing it in like all these different spaces. People are naked. It's super weird. She talks about, I know we guessed it, people who haven't quite grown up yet that tall.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think I understand what you're saying. I get it.
Those people are at this party with red lipstick. It's like very late in the night. She said it was a little bit sketchy, but she didn't want to incriminate herself. I also do not want to say this and have our video come down. But so she said it was so sketchy, and people are so drunk and high around her, but she didn't want to get drunk because she thought she was going to have to sing for him. And so she said this was all sketchy. The guy she came with was doing some weird like gay stuff with Diddy, which she was like, I'm not judging, but like I thought like I didn't know about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So then he had talked about like, okay, well, after we go to this party, there's someone who wants to meet you. We're gonna go to Cuba, like all this stuff. She's like, I think I was almost trafficked, is what happened there. Like they're trying to get you to drink. They're passing out drinks. They're like, take this mimosa, take like. It's some sketchy stuff. So she basically had to like sneak out. She said the phones went in these like little bubble packs. You know when you go to like a concert.
Yeah, I've been to one concert where I needed to do that. Yeah,
I had to do it more like.
I've only had to do it once. Yeah, I had to do it when I went to John Mulaney. That's the only one that I think I had to do that at.
Did you go to Kevin Hart?
I did not.
I bet you Kevin Hart did it because Kevin Hart was good friends with Diddy, so he probably knew about it.
That's how they all understood. That's how they knew about the bubble packs. That's where that's what the technology came from. Actually, this is all a big elaborate scheme. Diddy owns the bubble pack company, and he was trying to push that to being a very widespread use.
That's the real end game.
Yeah, it's the real end game. He wanted to own that bubble pack money. Just God. Man. That's where the real money is. Bubble packs.
I think we should get into that.
I don't want to. I don't think I'm cut out for a Diddy party. I don't
think I am either. Well, so, but basically, she said there was a lot of celebrities there, and that's like the whole thing about celebrities kind of being a part of that. So the idea is, and I think like the mafia or the mob or something did something similar to like politicians back in the day. Mm-hmm. Do you know about that?
Well, I mean, I just know that there's a lot of. Blackmail where they will kind of, put them in compromising situations that will be, difficult to explain to people. Though I do wonder, how effective that can be against, normal civilians, right? Yeah. Like, obviously, celebrities have, whatever, they have certain expectations, but certainly not the same level that a politician would have.
True. Yeah. So that would have been a little bit tougher.
Having is like, oh, if your politician's like, oh, they're having extramarital affair. Mm-hmm. It's like that, impugns their character. Mm-hmm. Whereas, if a random musical artist is like known for sleeping around with other people, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's par for the course, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, like, that must be why it has to get, like, weird. Yeah. Otherwise, like, you need something heavier to stick to people who, don't have as, wouldn't be as easy to, affect their status, right?
Yeah. Which is true, but if you think about it, you're putting a bunch of drugs, like you're handing out drugs, or you don't know what's in those drinks, or like if they're putting ecstasy or like other things in it. Like I was talking about that Tootsie. I think Jaguar Wright talked about this. Okay. But it was like Tootsie, and they said like people would take these mixture of drugs at like gay I don't want to say the gangbang. What's the word? What's another word that's not gangbang?
Sex party.
Sex party. And they would mix Viagra, ecstasy, a little bit of Special K.
Well, I mean, you're gonna need it because otherwise your heart would go through the roof.
And I think there's like cocaine in it or something. Like there's.
Then it's going back, you know.
Because it was like then you don't feel anything, but you're like excited because you're all happy from the ecstasy, and then you also have the Viagra to keep everything going lovely.
Man, your blood pressure would be like
It'd be
all screwed up.
It'd be crazy. But they said because that was so popular, Tootsie was like a mixture of all that minus the Viagra because you didn't need it, I guess. And they would color it pink just to make it like kind of fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
little Tootsie.
What a fancy beverage. Mm.
Is your drink good? Just kidding.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know if you got the dose right.
You can have mine.
Okay, perfect. You two-seed yourself?
Yeah,
What is this?
It's the assassin's pot.
Okay, perfect.
Derek showed me what an assassin's pot was.
Yeah.
Just before this episode. If you don't know, you should look it up because it's pretty cool. It's like a teapot that you put your finger on one side so that when you pour it out.
Yeah, it effectively has two different chambers in it that you can affect which chamber is pouring from based on how you hold the pot. So it was cool. So you could pour two drinks from the same teapot and one of them be poison and one of them is not. So that's why it's called an assassin's teapot.
I think it's super cool. Right?
It is really cool.
That's how I shook our drinks up. So
excellent. You didn't have to do that. I didn't watch you do it.
That's true. What else was I talking about? The drugs. Oh, we could talk about Bieber.
I mean, yeah.
So,
that guy's had a rough go of it.
It's awful. I feel he's huge victim in all of that.
Absolutely.
What I was going to say about the parties was that they apparently there's all these videos because in each of the rooms where they're doing these freak-off things, he's got secret cameras.
Yeah.
So you're like, no cameras. No one can bring their cameras in. But like he has cameras. And then if he catches you doing something because he's kind of drugged you and got rid of those inhibitions, or like it's a young girl who wants to be famous now or like be an actress, and she might not or probably wouldn't even become one, but you get her to do stuff in the hopes of getting that. And when you're young, you're super impressionable. Look at
sure
Hugh Hefner's girlfriends.
Yeah,
it's awful.
And and most of them will willingly say that they chose to be there at the time.
Yeah,
but then you look back and you're like, oh, it was why? Like what a horrible decision. But it's like you don't really in the moment. You're like, well, this is a career path. This is a way. This is how you have to get in. You have to do this to get in the industry.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at not only Diddy, but you look at the Harvey Weinsteins and like how much stuff just gets overlooked because they're powerful or they can effectively they can do what they want.
Yeah.
And you put these people in compromising situations, and then you can use it to get rid of them later if you have to. And it's really messed up. I actually remember it was a few years ago. There was a junior senator, a Republican senator, who was getting interviewed. Or I remember if he was a senator or a member of the House. It doesn't matter. But he was getting interviewed and said, "Oh yeah, he was invited to this party in DC where they had like cocaine and a lot of prostitutes and stuff like that." And then literally within months, it was they had videos of him cross-dressing, and they started releasing this stuff, and now you just don't hear from this guy anymore. And it's it was quick.
Yeah.
That everything just completely turned, and then no one was talking about what he said in his interview. Everyone was just talking about this other stuff, and now now it's just everyone forgot that he even mentioned any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But is that also going on in DC and in?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
it's crazy how high the power kind of goes up and what they all control.
It's weird.
It's not all glitz and glamour. Actually, it's all glamour. Did you know what glamour means? Actually,
no.
It's like a spell. It's like a glamour spell. You put like a spell on something to make it look like a totally different thing. So when they say like glamour or being glamorous is like, I put all this makeup on, I got dressed, I played a trick on you, kind of.
I mean, that
so
makes
it is
sense.
all glamour.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. I taught you something.
You did.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, man. Okay, now, the Bieber.
Mm-hmm.
So there's videos going around about Bieber a lot, like just at parties and stuff, and they show like them passing them like Ciroc bottles, and he's drinking, and then all of a sudden he's like really out of it. So, you know, whether he chose to take drugs or if he was drugged, if there are sketchy things going on that Diddy did to him, which would be awful. But the facts are that Usher signed him and Diddy signed Usher when he was a kid. And so those are sketchy. And then there's that main video that probably everyone's seen. If you're watching this episode and you haven't seen this, you are so far away from anything Diddy.
And you know what? Maybe just stay there. You know, maybe
switch that algorithm up.
Yeah, you know, just maybe Diddy isn't for you, and that's good. That's a good thing.
That's fair. But there's a video of him when he's like 15, and he's with. You've seen this, I assume.
I think I know what you're talking about.
He's with Diddy, and he's like, we're gonna have like a young boy's dream, and like we're gonna drive this Lambo or whatever. And the things we're gonna do, we can't talk about them. And he's like, he's trying to be like funny and like act like he's giving this kid this like crazy experience. There's gonna be girls there, and like his parents just gave him for the weekend.
Yeah.
And so like there's these freak-off parties, and like a 15-year-old boy shouldn't be there. A grown man shouldn't be.
I mean,
like take him for ice cream and in the public and.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then, but his Yummy video, this is where I love. So I fell into the rabbit hole a little bit about this before.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Yummy video?
I know the song. I have not watched the music video.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm just not in tune. I'm not in tune with the.
There's so much to cover.
With the times.
Okay, I'll tell you. So first of all, as we've said on this podcast before, yummy is the cringiest word I've ever heard in my entire life. And now some people say this word to me. Thank you very much.
I mean, you did it to yourself.
I did it. Yeah, I did it. But so his music video, he's almost like kind of hinting at like all of these celebrities and things that happen to him. And when you watch the video, you can see that he's eating food, like devouring food, and it's all really weird food. And he's with like a lot of older people who are like celebrity looking people at his table. He starts like kind of getting like messed up after eating. His face starts like warping. There's kids playing music in like these red suits. And at the end of the video, these red suits are just like hanging off onto the side. And after he's finished eating his food, or this cake that was on this plate, you can see like a picture of him when he was really young, and it said yummy. And when he was pushing out all the like marketing of this music video, he was posting things on his social media, like Instagram, with babies, and it said yummy. And when he was on the Ellen show, they asked him, what is this song about? And he's like, oh, it's just about my sex life, and like making it a joke. But like he was clearly talking about it. And there's pictures of him on set, like distraught on the side, just like crying and stuff. Like it was hard for him to make this video, and he never really said anything about it, but he said it. You watch the video, it's so messed up. So he was shouting for help, I think.
Yeah.
With that. So that's all I have to say about
How
Bieber.
old is that music video? Like,
That's
when
a
did that
few
song
years
come out?
ago, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago.
Huh.
Pre-COVID? COVID? I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's been out of the press though lately. He had a baby, so he's not really talking about this situation, which is totally fair.
Yeah, I mean, if I had been in this situation and could avoid talking about it, I would do that.
For sure. Yeah. And if nothing happened, or like maybe he did some questionable things at these parties too, because he's young.
Yeah.
He would feel guilty, but like that's not his, like he's a victim in all of it. That's just heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of victims involved with this.
It sounds like most people, other than like a select few, are all victims in this.
Yeah. They're saying some links to Jay-Z and Beyonce. For sure, J-Lo.
Yeah.
J-Lo was a long-term girlfriend with him. at those parties. So, we're talking about the baby oil.
I mean, that's just funny. Like, I love watching like the clips of people doing skits about like
I haven't seen these.
oh man, like Johnson and Johnson like on the phone with each other, like just being like, oh my god, what are we gonna do without Diddy?
Without Diddy.
Yeah.
Our number one customer.
Yeah, number one customer of Johnson Johnson baby oil.
This is so crazy. Like, I mean, there was like slip and slides or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of very legitimate reasons why you'd have, drums of baby oil in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, there's at least
other than babies,
a couple, I think, maybe.
Which is nice for skin.
Yeah, I mean, he's just very into skincare.
Moisturized. I don't know what to say about that. I saw a real picture from there though.
Okay.
And all the baby oils like lined up. Like it's not just like boxes of like backup baby oil. It's like a bathroom and it's like all lined up of just baby oil. And someone made a comment like, what if it was like it's not actually baby oil and there's like some type of drug mixed with the oil in it?
So it's like a topical drug?
I don't know. I don't know enough about drugs.
I mean, neither. Why is
GHB?
Why does it mean like
the date rape drug?
I mean, but the thing is, like, you're not ingesting baby oil, right?
I don't know. It's just a theory.
Okay.
Theory.
I mean, I think it's just weird enough to have like a bulk supply of baby oil.
True.
It's like, how many people have ever bought like a second bottle of baby oil?
Well, parents.
Really?
For the babies.
But like,
I don't know. We don't have babies.
No, we don't have babies. I don't know how much baby oil is
Let
normal.
us know in the comments how many bottles of baby oil.
Yeah, I don't know what a normal amount is. I assume Diddy's amount exceeds the normal.
Would say yes.
The normal usage recommendation.
A little excessive. Oh my goodness. It's so gross. What about the tunnels? Heard about the tunnels?
I mean, are there tunnels under his house too?
So apparently there's a fact that there are tunnels, but every time we look up pictures, the pictures are not really. I don't know which pictures are real and which ones aren't. They're saying tunnels that led to Michael Jackson's house, and also tunnels that led to I think Oprah's house, which is kind of ridiculous. And then here's a ridiculous conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Or I'll let you process that.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm processed.
Hurricane Milton.
So the one that just happened.
The
like category 5/6 because they didn't have a category 6 hurricane.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you hear the conspiracy about weather creating.
The only weather creation conspiracy I've heard is like Republicans saying that Democrats are controlling the weather.
Well, I've heard through the TikTok.
Okay.
Is that there's like some type of not equipment. I can't think of the word, but something that they've created that can change the weather. And so they've been testing this for a while.
Okay.
So here he goes.
So like Diddy owns it, and he's just like, aha, this will distract from my trial.
Whoever wants their stuff to be covered up
okay.
above Diddy or with Diddy or whomever, the storm that hit where he lives on this like I forget what it's called. Like, it's not Star Island. It might be Star Island.
Just Star Island's in Miami.
Yeah, it's just like right off that coast. Yeah. That's where his house is, as well as Oprah's, as well as like Shaquille O'Neal.
But like that's where like rich people have houses.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in that little area is where this is. Right?
Yeah, and then but that just so we're clear, that's also where hurricanes go.
I know
all the time.
But
okay.
They created this wild hurricane, the craziest hurricane of all, because they have this technology.
So they could help Diddy out of a jam? They're filling the tunnels. Oh.
With the water.
Okay.
So that all the evidence is gone.
Just so we're clear, like, tunneling in Florida is probably a bad idea in the first place. It would make way more sense if they're tunneling out in California or something. Why would they,
We're just really dry. I'm just saying that was the weirdest theory that I found.
I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm kiboshing this one. Hurricanes are real. The government cannot, and like, and then so now we have two competing conspiracies. One, the Democrats. The Democrats are creating the hurricanes.
Maybe they're involved.
Maybe they're all involved, or someone who is higher up than Diddy in the Freak-off conspiracy is
Clive
like
Davis.
Clive Davis. He's like, people can't know what happened in the tunnels. Destroy them with a hurricane. This is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tell everyone to
Yeah, everyone has to evacuate. So that's why you have to make it like the strongest hurricane of all time.
Yeah. Evacuate, and then they can also go in there and take the stuff out of it that they would want to hide.
So evacuate or like go in.
They tell everyone to evacuate.
Everyone else.
Then they send someone else in.
And then it's just like, oh, and now we're gonna. Did they turn down the hurricane or did
for a short period? Probably.
Okay, then they were able to go in.
Control it.
The Coast Guard was just like, Coast Guard, do you stay there? We got important tunnel work to do. Yeah. And the Coast Guard's like, guys, this is a big ass hurricane.
It's like, we know we made it.
Yeah, no, it's us. It was us. It was our hurricane.
Hi, Milton.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You named it after me.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, hurricanes are not funny. People probably
died.
This is not funny.
Donate to the Red Cross or something?
Is the Red Cross who you donate to?
I mean, I think they help people in general.
Okay. Donate to the Red Cross. Be
donate.
good.
They're fine.
Be good people.
Yeah, go out there.
Do you remember episode 2 when we said don't be assholes? Yeah. I think we might be crossing that line.
Yeah, I think the times have changed.
Okay.
You know? We've gone through some life events and now all bets are off.
Cue the rain.
Yeah. I'm gonna start my hurricane machine tomorrow.
Okay, it's not funny. Okay, but also talking about the hurricane, I can't say this word for the life of me. I cannot. But that got so much press, the hurricane. But the aftermath of the hurricane and the Appalachian?
Like the mountain chain?
Yeah, okay. They got a huge landslide from that water. So people were sharing those videos, but you don't hear about that anywhere. Like, people's homes are just being, gone. That's crazy. And they weren't told to evacuate. They were told, it'll be fine. The videos are not.
They were probably told, that could happen.
In their videos, they said they weren't.
Okay, never mind. My bad. Okay. Sorry, people from Appalachia.
Appalachia?
So, I think there's lots of different ways it gets pronounced.
Okay.
I think if you're from the area, you might pronounce it Appalachia.
Ooh. I like that better.
It's kind of fun.
Appalachia.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun, I don't know, food.
This is
Would you like some Appalachia?
An Appalachia crumble. Sounds delicious.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, but they are crumbling.
Oh, no.
You just canceled us.
Oh, my bad.
I'm sorry.
That was not intentional.
But I think we talked about this on another episode, or just in person, but that there's a lot of weird conspiracies around there too. Like, they see a lot of weird mountain people, or not to be out in the night. And if you hear someone crying in the forest, you don't go towards it because it's they're trying to get you.
I mean, that's the Blair Witch. They're coming for you.
But I think you said there's also a lot of meth there too.
That's also true.
This must have been a private conversation. I do want to go there. Not for the meth. Man,
I remember when the Blair Witch came out.
That was creepy.
Because that forest where it was from was actually from around in the Maryland area.
Oh,
so when I was down there in the summer when the movie came out.
Oh, God.
And it was a creepy movie, man. And it was the first found footage horror movie. Man, it was scary. That was terrifying. I was also maybe too young to go see the Blair Witch Project. Tough to say.
And to be so close to it, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was when it's oh man, did this actually happen? And people were the marketing was so good on that movie. They crushed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and yeah, I
I think
remember
especially. Oh,
I
sorry.
remember that summer, like I remember going to that movie and just being like, this is like it's crazy.
I
But
think I remember that too as it being real.
yeah,
I was just like, this is a real video. This really
this
happened.
definitely happened. I think
We
it's funny
were
now to
young though.
look. Yeah, I think it's funny now to look back and it's like, yeah, they actually, they kind of screwed with those actors like pretty bad.
What do you mean?
Well, like
I don't remember very well.
they didn't they didn't like feed them, or they were out there for a long time.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, like apparently
I didn't
the
know that.
conditions of making the Blair Witch Project were not great.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is that why her nose was running?
I think so.
Oh,
Damn,
that pisses me out.
that movie's crazy.
Do you know what is real though? Is that like, is it called Hell House? You heard of that?
I've heard of that. I don't know why people would like do it.
It's insane. Like you sign over absolutely anything. The people, no one's actually passed it, but it's just like complete torture. They're allowed to
Yeah.
cut your hair off, pull your teeth out, make you bleed.
Yeah. Who's signing up for these things? That's what I don't understand.
Crazy people.
Like who hears about that and goes, I could do it.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Exactly.
Not for any amount of money would I want to do that.
I barely want to go to a normal haunted house.
That's creepy.
It's just weird.
Why is it weird?
I don't know, like the scaring yourself thing.
Oh yeah.
You know?
It's kind of like the best escape room.
Well, no, because there's no actual puzzles. You just walk through.
Trying to escape.
I want puzzles.
Oh,
Give me puzzles,
get me out of
please.
here.
I love escape rooms. This is well known, I think. I've done over 100 escape rooms.
Oh wow.
But I would say I actually didn't like the thing that I like least about escape rooms is how many of them are horror themed.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
obviously that it's a like you want to escape, so it's like it's easy to lean into that.
Yeah.
But like I really enjoyed when that became okay. Well, we can't have all of our escape rooms be horror themed, so then they start branching out. You have different reasons that you'd have to solve puzzles and stuff like that. Of course, like I'll still do a horror themed escape room. That's fine, but it just feels very one note, right? Like you just like, oh yeah, this psychopath's gonna kill you. You gotta get out of the escape room. It's like, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess yeah. I could see like sometimes wanting to go like a scary escape room because then it's like one extra layer of fear, right?
Yeah.
So now you're kind of like amped up and you can't really focus as much, right?
The good ones, the ones that are actually scary are ones where you have an actor or something in it too. Like that's the good stuff, because then it's like something can actually like pop out at you, or like someone you can like you have to like reach in somewhere and someone can grab your hand or something. That's fun. Like
I don't like that at all.
We did one that was outdoors. Like it went through like a small, like we just did this a few weeks ago actually.
Cool.
And it was done at like an old timey like town setting.
Okay.
Like so
just
here,
a big room or like a
no,
big
like
space?
outside. It was like an outdoor, like an outdoor
Okay.
like mini town setup.
Okay.
So it was in Fort Edmonton,
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. But it's kind of like our Western Development Museum.
I was gonna say I'm getting that.
So
kind of
it's
vibe.
it looks exactly like that, but it's all outside, and so there's a bunch of buildings and stuff, and it was super fun. But there was at least 2 guys who were also running around the town trying to scare you while this was happening.
Oh no!
It was sweet.
Was it just you guys doing it?
No, it was there was us and then like maybe like 8 other teams or 8 or 9 other teams all doing it at the same time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because you can do an escape room kind of thing at the Western Development Museum.
Really?
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not really an escape room. It's kind of like it is like, but it like the puzzles and you're like falling around trying to figure this out, and it wasn't easy. I'll be honest.
I haven't done that. I should give it a try.
You should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty good. But yeah.
Also, we got out of the thing. So.
Good for you. Good for you. I did an escape room with someone recently who has who's very good at figuring out. I don't know how to describe not really into puzzles,
Okay.
but more like looking at the big picture and figuring things out. So in this escape room, we had these files, and the files were all laid out, and the question of the whole thing was, did this guy kill these people?
Okay.
Or was he the detective or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
And spoiler alert, if you're in Saskatoon going to escape rooms, he did. But this person I went to looked at all the files and they're like, yeah, he did it. Are we done?
Yeah.
Like, he looked through all these files. And I was like, that's not, if this is not for a clue, this is not important. And then we went through the whole thing. And at the end, we missed the very last one, which I'm pretty happy that we got that far.
Yeah.
But then the lady came in and she was like, so did you guys figure out? Do you think he did it? Yeah, I knew from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like, why did we have to do all these? Like,
yeah, so we figured this out. It's like 100% was this
figure-
dude. I was like, I mean, we don't have like
Skip
all the
through the
proof or
puzzles,
anything, but
yeah.
yeah, like, no, this is the man. He did it. He did the thing. It's very clear.
Here's why. And
Yeah.
the lady was like, oh. It's kind of funny.
I have done that escape room.
You
And
know,
I had a very similar.
Did you?
I had a very similar thought at the beginning, but it was like, yeah, you know, whatever. We did
Let's go through
everything.
the puzzle.
Yeah, yeah.
That one was pretty fun. It was just, I don't know. It was
I like
okay.
that one.
Yeah. There was parts that I was just like, what is going on here? The dog. That part. Did you have that? Draw a picture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we're like, what is this? Is it dog or is it puppy? Or is it like, I don't know what the first letter of this word is. 'Cause I don't know exactly what it is. Spoiler alert again. Okay, back to Diddy.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Diddy because that's an escape room that.
It's an escape room that no one escaped. They were all trapped forever.
I think some escaped probably. Maybe
What I
some
wonder is, okay, so
Yeah.
you have this thing, and you have obviously people who have been there,
Mhm.
presumably people who are going, you know what, I don't want to be here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But then they don't say anything, and I
Well-
guess it's like, you know, obviously
Mhm.
there's some element of consent that is involved in all of this stuff, right?
Yep.
Where you're like, okay, you're going to a Diddy party. It's like, well, there is that power dynamic, right?
Mhm.
Of, well, this guy has influence and could do things for you.
Mhm.
It's like, how far do you let that go or whatever? But then you also have to think, well, you have also other people who are already powerful who get invited to go to these things, right?
But did they get powerful by going to these things?
Well,
Becoming part of it?
I don't know. Like, so let's say you
Like
have
Jay-Z or something.
Yeah, like I mean, Jay-Z would have been coming up around the same time as P. Diddy.
Yeah.
But like they obviously weren't running in the same circles. Otherwise, they would probably be with the same record label and stuff like that.
Maybe he has a similar thing going on.
I mean,
And he's like, don't look over here.
I mean, that is quite possible. I mean, I don't think there's. I don't know how. I don't know if Jay-Z has a lot of defenders in the industry either. You know, from
Yeah.
claims of abuse of power or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
Do you remember when Beyonce's sister like beat him up in the elevator? Was trying to beat him up?
yeah,
Beyonce just sit there.
yeah.
What did he do?
What did Jay-Z do?
That Lemonade album was really good though. I
Yeah.
really liked that.
But then they're just like, it was just because he cheated on her. It's like,
I know.
you get a whole album for that?
Yeah. Going through all the emotions, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a good album though. I liked it. I thought it was very creative. Because people aren't really listening to albums anymore.
Yeah.
Eminem, he had that recent one and he was like, listen to it from like the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
And I would never do that. I did because it's Eminem and I love him so much. It was very good.
I've always been an album fan.
If there's a crappy one, you just want to
Yeah, I mean, you know,
skip
you don't get 100% credit, but I do enjoy
listening to
listening to an album lots of times.
Yeah.
But
I think if there's like a good flow.
yeah.
Yeah.
If there's an artist you particularly don't want to listen to. Like that's one thing, like with the, you know, the appification of music, like the Spotify's and Apple Music and all that stuff with the,
I mean, don't say anything bad because.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
We
big
love
fans.
I actually
Also,
do really
big
love
big
Spotify.
news.
Oh
Big
yeah,
news. We are on. We finally are on Apple.
I did it.
Yeah, she did. I did not help. I didn't get it.
I think I got close though, but it was just a different thing I had to do.
Yeah.
Fine.
So now if you want to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, we are on there now too. So that's great.
So exciting. Because not everyone uses Spotify. I use
Exactly.
Spotify. I love Spotify. Some people use Google Music too. So we're on that.
Yeah.
And then obviously if you're watching this, it's YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so what I was saying.
Appleify.
Yeah. So just like the idea behind like the single is what matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the only now that's effectively the only thing that people release.
Right.
Is like you release a single, so it can get into the TikTok and get into all the algorithms and stuff. But they're not like albums aren't really getting released that much anymore. You don't really hear about it as much, or it's not as big of a deal if someone's like, oh, they came out with a record or something. Now,
so how do they make money then?
I mean, I assume they just make money the same way. Like they obviously you get paid on streams and stuff like that.
Right.
But it really is. I mean, most of the money for artists comes from like touring now.
Yeah, but Eminem doesn't tour, so does he just make music for fun then?
I mean, I assume he has enough money.
It's like one concert I would pay whatever. Like I know Taylor Swift, everyone's like obsessed with that.
Yeah,
that's not my jam. But
I think she puts on a pretty good show.
Would you go?
Would I go? Yeah.
For how much?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I think you would have to pay me approximately $500 to go.
That is crazy.
Maybe $200 if it was local.
You would go for?
I wouldn't go for free.
Really? No way.
And it's not that I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't really love concerts. I get so bored.
Concerts are the best.
The music's kind of like not really the best. Like I want to hear it like in headphones or like just in my car. Like that's why I like listening to music.
No way. I love live music. That is
live music.
Live music is amazing.
Oh no. Plus then there's all these people around and you're just like, I want to talk to these people. You can't even talk to them. You just sit there quietly and like, I can't talk to anyone, just sit here.
I mean, you're supposed to get into the music, right?
I don't want to.
That's interesting.
Maybe Eminem. I did like Dax.
Yeah.
That was a good show. I really liked that one. But that was a really small venue. And I liked he played again when we were in Minneapolis and he had Joyner Lucas. Oh, Joyner Lucas was really good.
Joyner Lucas is very good.
Yeah. I love that like is it underground rap? What is that? Like they're not mainstream.
They're not mainstream, but I mean
like I don't even think they would have like a record label.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
They would for sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
Independent. Is that what it's called? Independent?
Yeah. Like if you're you're releasing your own stuff.
Yeah. I feel like Dax is independent.
I mean, they very well could be. Like I know Chance the Rapper was independent.
He's not at
a
a Diddy party.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I will say though that I was really I found Dax. I was really excited about it. I loved his music. I just listened on repeat. And then I saw that he was coming to Saskatoon.
Oh, really?
In a week. From when I found him on YouTube and I became obsessed with him. I thought he lived in the States and I think he might or then he was in Canada. I don't know if he's Canadian. I think he's Canadian from Toronto.
Okay.
But anyway, so then I go to the show and at the show he said, if you tag me or message me on Instagram, I always reply because at the end of my shows, he's like, I eat chicken and rice because he's trying to eat healthy. He doesn't drink any alcohol. He's like, whatever.
Yeah. And
he's like, then I reply to all my comments. So I sent him a message. I don't send messages to anybody. And I've never been replied to. So I'm like a little bit not happy about that, but it's fine. It's big famous. It's fine.
Hey.
It's fine. Now his songs come on and I'm just like, I don't know about that.
You lost a fan, Dax.
You should have replied to my DM. It's fine though. I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, you're clearly
it's fine.
Well over it now, I'm sure.
But yeah, he was good. What else I got? We could talk about Holly Weird all the time. I'm trying to stick just to to P. Diddy here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything else is a little bit more Holly weird. I guess we could end before an hour for once.
Yeah.
Our last episode was an hour 15 or something.
I mean, hey, last week's pretty sweet. So it wasn't our last episode. No, our last episode was the...
I thought philosophy was our last episode. But was the one before that the long one?
I'm not sure.
Another random episode or something?
Yeah.
If you have suggestions, please comment of what you want to watch. And like we said, we might do it.
And if you have any other... I want to do it. I have been brewing a conspiracy, and I really want to get it out there. So expect another conspiracy episode coming soon.
Yeah. So let us know what kind of conspiracies are in your algorithms.
Yeah.
So we can add them to ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you have drink suggestions or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if you just want to chat, we will reply to your DMs. Unlike Dax.
Yeah, 100%. And when I say 100%, I mean probably.
I will.
Yeah, perfect.
I love making friends. Okay, well, thanks for listening to us about P. Diddy, and
yeah, let us know how you feel about what's going on with P. Diddy. You know, see if he still has any fans out there.
No.
I don't know if anyone's actually really into P. Diddy ever.
No.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go to the parties, I guess.
I guess so.
Not me. Okay, well, we'll see you. We'll hopefully have another episode before Halloween.
Awesome.
And...
Oh, yeah, Halloween's coming.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Very spooky. Cool.
Okay, bye.
See you, everybody.